All right. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. We're gonna do a all signs reading today. We're gonna look at May 2023. I'm actually doing more readings for May, so there's gonna be a lot of information about May. But welcome everybody. We're gonna get started here in just a minute. As usual, I've forgotten to set 19 things up here, so let me just fix this real quick, and that'll be that. Shane, hello. April, hello. Jen, hello. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Andrea, hello. Also, so we've already picked 2 winners for the contest, and I have another winner that my lovely assistant here knows who it is, or knows at least who the winner is, or the name of the winner, or something. But there is another winner, but I can't remember. I'm going to announce the winners today, maybe, or actually, let's do it tomorrow because I have a million videos going out today. So, just so everybody doesn't miss it. But I'm going to announce the winners. I'm also, spoiler alert, I'm also going to randomly pick 10 winners. Yes, you heard that correctly. I'm going to pick 10 more winners for a personal reading with me. The 10 winners are only going to get 1 question. I've already given away way too many first place prizes here, so not everyone can be a winner. But I'm going to pick 10 people, and I'm going to pick these people at random. I'm going to use the YouTube random comment picker. So how can you enter? All you have to do is leave a comment below this video, or you can leave a comment on the other live that I did the other day. I'm going to use the YouTube random comment picker to pick 10 winners, if you can believe it. So, this is probably your last chance, although I don't know. I keep giving readings away, so, make sure you show up for these lives to make sure that you actually know when I'm doing this. But, basically, all you need to know is I will contact you. I'll leave a comment on your comment if you are one of the winners. But again, I'm going to do a video so everybody knows it's fair with the random comment picker. And then I will contact you. You will contact me with your question, and I will send you a recorded response from me as a reading. So that's just a little thank you. Everybody's been ridiculously generous to me. So just my way to give back. And, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here and all that. On top of that, everybody, I am relaunching the Tarot Masterclass as well at a much lower price. So it's going to be $27 a month, and that will be for 12 months. After 12 months, you own it. But also, we are going to be building a spiritual kind of entrepreneur community as well, which you automatically get entered into once you sign up for the Masterclass. And I'm going to be adding classes to that every single month. So, for example, this first month, I'm going to be covering the 7 deadly sins of YouTube. Spoiler alert, there's more than 7, but if I said 9, that's not as cool as 7 deadly sins. So that's why I said that. And it's going to be a community where it's going to be kind of built by me, but also by you. You will, if you join, you will have a say in the content that's being created. If you are already a member of the Masterclass, you don't have to do anything. You're already in it. You're already signed up. You're already part of the community, so you're good to go. You can just log into the community, and all the updates I'm going to start posting those starting this week. So, all the updates and updated content are going to be added in there. So again, if you're already a member, you're all set. You have nothing to do. But if you're not, like I said, $27 a month, the price is going to go up. I'm going to make it, and that's only for 12 months. After this, basically, I'm going to be raising the price to $37 a month, period, forever. So if you want to get in for just 12 months at $27 a month, you can do that at the link that is pinned up above. So there you go. All right, I think that's all the announcements. I'm probably going to announce that a couple more times during this live, but I feel like we have enough people in here, so I'm going to start reading now. Actually, I also want to pull something up here as well. So, actually, let's keep babbling. Susie, welcome. Cancer Lady, hello. Jill, welcome. Thank you for being here. Lori, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Magic Luna, hello. Thank you for being here. I just want to, I need my pop-out chart. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but I need the chart that pops up here because that lets me look at the chart while I'm doing readings, and then we can talk about the astrology as well. Veronica, hello. Sherry, welcome. All right, let's get started. I'm going to put that over there, and that'll be that. I can't read the chat, just so everybody knows. So if you have any questions or whatever, I will, try to keep an eye on it, but that's that. All right, Aries. Aries, we're going to use Mega Deck. I've already shuffled Mega Deck. Mega Deck is a combination of the Sacred Shaman Oracle, the Good Tarot, and also the Shaman's Dream Oracle as well. So, Aries, we're going to go in order today. And Aries, you have this card that says Root Girl. It says the disowned self. And I actually kind of feel like you're coming back to yourself here, Aries, or you're coming back to your to like your true nature. So maybe you have felt disowned, or you feel like you don't belong. Some of you, I feel, have been more internal, meaning like maybe you haven't been spending as much time with friends, or maybe you haven't been spending as much time with the people around you in your life. And I kind of feel like you've been kind of looking for a connection, or you might be feeling that you want a deeper connection is kind of what I'm getting here. But this doesn't have to be love. That's not the only thing I'm talking about here, Aries. I feel like you could be looking to connect to things as well. Like you could be I think that, let me just put it this way, Aries. I think that you're entering into a time where you want to do things on purpose. It's like you don't want just a job. You probably want something now that that you can connect with deeper, or that has some sort of meaning behind it, or aligns with your values more. And that's really what I get here. But same thing, again, if you want love or a relationship or anything like that, I feel pretty much the same thing. You have this Sweat Lodge card. I feel like saying you have been sweating. maybe not literally sweating, but I kind of feel that it's that feeling of uncertainty. It's like sometimes I think we feel uncertain about, our finances, for example, or we feel uncertain about the future, and it kind of creates this sweat where we feel pressure, or maybe we feel anxious. So I kind of feel that here. Same thing with your Ten of Wands here, Aries. I feel like this is saying that, you've just been feeling pressure, or there are certain pressures that you've been experiencing. I really kind of get this feeling that the universe is trying to get you to enjoy your life more with the Ten of Wands. Like I kind of feel like it's saying like, okay, you've done all this hard work. You've built something, or you are building something, but there comes a time where maybe you just need to go to the beach. Maybe you need to have a day where you enjoy yourself, or where you kind of let off some of that steam from that Sweat Lodge card. And really, that's not what that Sweat Lodge card represents, by the way, but that's pretty much what I'm getting from this reading. I'm also going to clarify this with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So that's what this deck is here. But let's see, you have this affair card popping out at the bottom there. It's kind of weird how that just popped out of there, but it's not like a love affair like cheating. It's an affair as in there could be like new love coming in for you. With the Root Girl card, the Disowned Self, you have this Domination card here. Yeah, I mean, I think that we're all entering into like two worlds right now, where we kind of have an opportunity to choose which world we live in. And, for you, I feel like it's the difference between competition and co-creation. And so I feel like you have that opportunity to co-create with more people in your life. And that's pretty much all I'm getting here is like, I feel that co-creation will be more profitable for you if it's business. Same thing with love. I feel it'll just be better for you in general. With the Sweat Lodge card, you have this Rebellion card. This is probably why you're feeling pressure as well. This card does represent Mars and Aquarius, this card here. And, you could be feeling, it's not like rebellion like you're rebelling. It's more like you're coming up with new ideas, new plans. I feel like even yourself, like your higher self or your heart is kind of pushing you in new directions in your life. And I do feel that this is encouraging you to kind of like listen to these new directions. I feel like it's encouraging you to maybe even come up with new directions in your life. You could be kind of like upgrading your business here so that you have more time, which I definitely get that right here with that Ten of Wands. Same thing if you have a career. Like I even think some of you could be cutting your hours, or you could be like trying to find a way to cut your hours so that you have more free time, or so that you just have some time for yourself. And, and if you're not doing that, by the way, Aries, I would look for a way to do that. I kind of get this hidden opportunity thing. I'm pretty sure I said this to you, maybe it was like months ago, but I almost get this feeling that if you're working, let's just pretend you're working 60 hours a week. It's almost like there is a job that's probably exactly like the job you have now that's 40 hours a week. and pays you the same amount of money, but you're going to have to go look for it. And I get that feeling here where it's like if you are doing something, maybe it is 40 and you only want to work 30. I feel like that opportunity exists. It's like there's some sort of time-saving opportunity for you here, Aries. And it doesn't matter if you have a business. It doesn't matter if you're retired. You could be saving time on anything. With the Ten of Wands, you have this optimism card. It's like you have been getting some things working in your life is what I would say here. I feel like you're feeling much more optimistic in the future. Didn't I say this to you recently as well? It's like you're building machines in your life. It's like imagine if you had things in your life that did a bunch of work for you. It's like I think that people are missing out big time with like AI, for example, in your job. It's like how can AI help your job? I just watched some dude on Joe Rogan who like fired his lawyer because AI can basically do all of his lawyerings that he needs, can answer all his questions. So it's like I don't think we understand where this is going yet, but again, could be freeing up time by doing things like that. I want to pull one more card for you, Aries. You have this devotion card. If you want love, I feel like this is what you're looking for. Something very kind of much more committed, someone who's much more serious. So there you go. Thank you, Aries. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. We are going to move on to Taurus. So Taurus, let's see. We're going to go backwards for you, Taurus, because why not? You have the Hangman here. You have this Horseman card that says Herald of Change. And you also have this Many Paths card. This is pretty obvious to me here, Taurus, is what I would say. I feel like a lot of you, it's like you have all the information you need with a Hangman. With a Hangman, we put ourselves in Hangman mode so that we can gain enlightenment. And I feel like you have gained some sort of enlightenment on like a change that you need to make in your life. The Hangman can suggest that you haven't been making moves recently, or it can suggest that you've been, kind of like stuck in limbo, or you've made some sort of sacrifice, or, whatever. And, this could be something that you've been doing for years is really what I'm getting here. And now I feel like it's time for you to get off the pole, as I always say with the Hangman. It's like you have all the knowledge and wisdom. You have more than enough to get started. And then you have this Horseman, which says Herald of Change. There's something like big happening in your life, and I feel like this could be, it's like one of those moments where it's almost like it's a moment that is creating a transition is what I'm getting. Those are the words I have popping into my head. This could be like, I don't know, it feels like a big moment to me. It's like, what's popping into my head is like getting your license. But I don't think that's the only thing that could be going on, obviously, Taurus. Like most of you, if you're watching me, probably have your license. But, it's like there's some sort of, it's like that type of transition. I don't know, I'm looking for a word here, and it's not coming to me, but it's like not a rite of passage, but, some people consider getting your license a rite of passage, but, it's like some sort of big life moment that you're going through. It even says 30. Like some people consider turning 30 to be like a big moment. They consider it to be one of those like rites of passage or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like it's like that moment is what is creating this change. Some of you, could be leaving college and getting a real job, right? But that, it's like there's some sort of big change like that going on for you here, Taurus. You have this Many Paths card. I feel like you need to realize that, basically you still have many opportunities. I feel that, I it's kind of funny, but I always have this thought that I think, if a lot of us, when we die, if we, go to heaven, I think we will realize that we could have done pretty much anything that we wanted and nothing was really stopping us, even though, maybe at the time it seemed that way. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you're kind of, I feel like there are a lot of opportunities for you here and a lot of different paths that you could take. I feel like you just need to pick one and kind of make it happen with this card. It's like there's some sort of, new direction, or there's some sort of new opportunity that you could be moving through. And I feel like it's something that could be very successful for you here, Taurus. Again, I do feel confused in your reading. This could be the Mercury retrograde in your sign, of course, or something like that. But let's get to the bottom of this here, Taurus, and see. With the Hangman, you have this Power card. Yeah, I feel like there are opportunities for you to kind of like become an authority figure or to gain some authority as well. It's interesting that this is showing up as Scorpio, because this basically says to me that we have the Scorpio eclipse coming up, and I feel a lot of you could be gaining power or authority, or after the eclipse on May 5th, that might be a good time for those of you that want to kind of like, you know, if you want to grow a business, if you want to become an online authority or whatever, like now could be the time with that power card. With the Horseman here, you have this inheritance card. Some of you could be receiving an inheritance. Kind of weird because I'm pretty sure you always get this card with me, or at least you have like a few times with me. So some of you, and it's funny because like another thing, like a parent passing away, for example, is sometimes considered to be like one of those big, you know, milestones in life. I know people don't want to think about it, but you know, for some of you, maybe it's already happened. You know, but what I would say here is that this could be an inheritance, like literally. For others, I kind of feel that this could be something else that is leaving your life for sure. You know, you have that Horseman card. It says Herald of Change. It's like there's some sort of big life-changing event coming in for you here, Taurus. And, you know, that makes perfect sense. I'm actually going to look at your chart too, because you know, I want to see what's going on here. And it's not zoomed in, unfortunately, Taurus. But yeah, everything is in your sign. So, you know, every planet and its mother is basically in your sign right now. And that makes sense. That could be why you are experiencing such a big change. With the main pass card, you have this drama card. You know, I would avoid drama at all cost. I would also say that I feel very specific dramas that you could be experiencing. I feel like, you know, that the dramas that you could be experiencing are things that maybe make you feel a little bit small. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I almost feel strength vibes with this guy right here, where I feel like you need to, you know, there could be moments that make you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, or, you know, like those imposter syndrome moments. And I feel like in those moments, you need to kind of like hold on to your strength and realize that you deserve something. Like maybe you literally should be saying that to yourself as well. Maybe you literally need to say, I deserve this. And, you know, that could be the thing that, you know, kind of moves you past those moments where, you know, if you've ever had one of those moments where someone calls you stupid or, you know, whatever, it makes you feel small. I feel like that's what you're kind of getting past here. All right. Thank you, Taurus. We're going to move on here to Gemini. So let's see what we have for you, Gemini. Gemini, you have the Seven of Wands, the Ancient Ones, and you have this drum card as well. The Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It is my card of conviction. To me, the Seven of Wands says, when you know that something is for you, then it's for you. It's a card of, you know, believing something so deeply deep down in your soul, in your DNA. It's a card that says when you believe something that deeply, then you will be successful. So whatever you're trying to accomplish, the more you can, you know, I always say brainwash yourself into success. It's like the more you believe something, the more likely it is that it will happen. You know, Marissa Peer's, her big thing is saying, I am enough, for example. But even she says when you're brainwashing yourself, if you tell yourself, I am enough, the first thing your brain says is, no, you're not. You are stupid. You are whatever, right? And so your job is to just keep saying it, because eventually your brain kind of gets it and it stops calling you out basically with this energy. I also feel that there could be some sort of new commitment. It is kind of a card of commitment because, again, he's so sure. Normally, the guy on this card, he's so sure of himself that he's like defending his position at the top of the hill. And I feel like there could be some sort of commitment here. It's like something that you've wanted to do for a long time is what I'm getting with this Ancient Ones card. This card can kind of represent your like guides, your ancestors, kind of guiding you towards something much, much better in your life. The other weird thing that's popping into my head is I feel like you could be getting like fulfillment in your life, but not, it's like popping into my head as something different, something unusual, or something that is, you know, very unlikely. It's like you're getting everything you want, but not how you thought you were going to get it. You know, if this is business, for example, it's like this channel, right? I always tell a story. It's like when I started this channel over 8 years ago, like there were no channels that had more than 10,000 subs. That was like the limit. And so, you know, I never thought in a billion years that I would have as many subs as I do. So it was never really like part of my plan. I just was kind of like doing it as a hobby. I was doing it for fun. And that was pretty much it. But now it's like pretty much taking over my life, right? This is all I do all day long. So there you go. But it was like never part of the plan. And I kind of see that happening for you, Gemini. Not maybe in that way, but it's like maybe you are looking for a job and maybe you just take the first job that you come across, but maybe you actually fall in love with the job. Like that's kind of how it's popping into my head. And it's just like unexpected or something that you didn't think you would be doing. Some of you are already doing this, Gemini. Like I feel like some of you already kind of, you know, have a position that maybe you weren't expecting. And it's not like it's, oh, like some surprising clickbait, unexpected type of deal. It's just like you just didn't expect it. And that's all I get. And I also feel like, you know, that you kind of, just didn't expect to enjoy it as much as you did maybe. But I feel like your guides are like leading you right in the right direction. I also feel something about a new beginning here. You have this drums card. It's almost like something is knocking on your door, like an opportunity is knocking on your door right now. And I kind of feel like this is saying, open the door if you are hearing something. I keep getting this message, not just for you, Gemini, but for pretty much everyone, that, I really feel that they're kind of like things are going to be very obvious for us. In you might be saying, what? Nothing is obvious right now. But actually, if you think about it, I think things are very obvious. I think that the writing is on the wall. And this card kind of represents the writing being on the wall. So if you're in a situation where you think things are going to improve, then keep going. If you're in a situation where the writing's on the wall and things are getting worse, I feel like this is saying, like, don't ignore it and, pay attention to the sounds. Pay attention to the knocking on the door, right? Because I feel like that's what that card wants you to do. It wants you to pay. I just feel it's like saying pay attention to the signs, the symbols, the synchronicities, pretty much everything. With the Seven of Wands, you have this affair card. This card, it's not like a cheating affair. It's more like love, just love entering into your life. So, this here could represent love coming in for you or something that you will fall in love with. Definitely could be a Leo as well. You always get Leo in your readings, so it wouldn't surprise me. For those of you that want love, like I said, could be a Leo coming in for you. With the Ancient Ones card here, you have this Bluff card. So I feel for some of you, this is saying, like, don't call the bluff. It's like if the writing's on the wall and you feel like you're about to get fired, then I would go get a new job, for example. If the writing is on the wall and you feel like your company is about to, collapse, then I feel like this is saying, like, don't ignore it. Make sure to pay attention to it and, go start something else or do something new, right? So I kind of feel this is encouraging you to pay attention to the things that are going on around you here. And, I feel like that's very important. This is Jupiter in Gemini, this card. So I do feel lucky here, though. Like, I feel like you're getting lucky. If you're taking any risks, I'm getting here as well, then, I feel like these risks that you're taking could be paying off handsomely for you, Gemini. With the Drum card, here you go. You have the Riches card. Whatever this is, it's going to be very abundant. Whatever opportunity is knocking, I would just take advantage of it right away. For some of you, I do feel it's love. And it could just be a very abundant connection. If it is a job or some other type of opportunity, like a work opportunity, again, same thing. I feel like it's going to require work. It's definitely popping into my head that, it's going to require a certain amount of work, but I feel like it's going to be very abundant, very successful for you. Definitely could be bringing in riches and things like that as well. I have something about 3 people here, not a third party. I know everybody's going to take it there, but, I feel like for some of you, it's like you could be the third person, but this is like a job or a business opportunity or something. That's how it's popping into my head. It's not like a third party, I feel like you're kind of like the missing piece of the puzzle. So some of you, I don't know, that's very specific, but I feel like somebody out there is like maybe getting a job with their friends, or maybe your friends are opening a new business or something, and you could be kind of like the missing piece to the puzzle here, Gemini, and it's definitely popping into my head as being very, very abundant for you. So love it. All right, that's that, Gemini. Cancer, let's see what is going on for Cancer at this time. Cancer, we'll take both of these cards. Why not? So, Cancer, let's see. You have this Wailing Tree card. It says Reconciliations on it. You have the King of Swords. You have this Caterpillar card. It says Opportunity on it. And you have this, the Farther Gate. It says Bold Steps Forward. You have this Reconciliation card. I mean, we're obviously going to have to clarify this, but, I guess it could be someone coming back from your past here, Cancer. I always tell people, like, I would be very careful during Mercury retrograde of taking someone back from the past. But I always say that if you're going to make the mistake, you might as well do it during the retrograde. It's like, if you go back with an ex, maybe you break up after the retrograde, but if you don't do it during a retrograde, maybe it takes like 6 months. So it just like drags it out longer. So I always say, like, if you're going to do it, and, because obviously sometimes we all have to make mistakes, right? Maybe they just have a 6-pack. Maybe they look too good. I don't know. Maybe you just can't keep your hands off of them, Cancer. Whatever it is, I would say, if it is a mistake, we're going to look into it. Then I would say you might as well just make the mistake right now, right? But what I will say is you have this King of Swords, and you have this Caterpillar card, which has Opportunity on it. And, the caterpillar kind of says to me, like, is this person still a caterpillar, or, have they turned into a butterfly? So, I do say if you are going to go back to an ex, it's like as long as you are different and as long as they have also, evolved and turned into something else and are different, then you're not going back as the same person. They're not the same person. So you're not going to run into the same mistakes. Again, one of the reasons I say don't go back to the past is because usually you're both just going back to each other as the same person. So it didn't work the first time, probably not going to work the second time or the third time or the fourth time. But this could say that there is a change in that. I also am getting something here about you kind of being very wise at this time. The King of Swords is a card of like wisdom, knowledge, gaining a lot of wisdom as well. So if you're working on anything new in your life, I feel like you could be, this could be part of the opportunity that is coming in for you in your life. But again, we're going to look at this in just a minute when we clarify. I think the most important card here is this card that says the farther gate. It says bold steps forward. I kind of feel that you need to kind of exceed your own expectations here, Cancer. And this could be talking about love. It could basically be like, okay, yeah, going back to the past, it's like, what if the past person is just like the dollar store version of the person you're supposed to really be with? It's like, do you want dollar store or Tiffany's, right? And I feel like this is, like basically the farther gate is the better opportunity. Same thing in like work or business. I feel this is saying like no settling for second best. I feel this is saying if you want something, I kind of feel like you need to go towards it unapologetically. I think too many people think like, oh, I want to be a billionaire, but they are, they apologize for it because they're told like money is evil or whatever, whatever anyone says. So I feel like this is saying like, don't listen to haters. Don't worry about that stuff. Get rid of the money blocks, the limiting beliefs, and charge towards what you want. But you're going to have to be like bold and assertive. I'm definitely kind of like getting that energy here for you. By the way, this card says the wailing tree. So, this could definitely be an ex who's like boo-hooing, crying all day because you're not in their life anymore. But it's like, what did they do to screw up is what is popping into my head. Here you go. With that wailing tree card and the reconciliation card, you have this rebellion card. It's like they rebelled against you and they thought that they would win. So again, if this is an ex, I would be careful of going back to this person because again, I don't really see that they have changed here. I feel like they're just the same. I kind of do get the feeling that they could be coming back to just win as well. So, I'm not a big fan of that. So I would be careful, in this situation. And again, they could see you rebelling. If you're moving towards someone new, then, it could be them that is seeing you rebelling against them. With the King of Swords and this Caterpillar card, you have this defense card. Yes, I would be defensive. I see, what I really feel like this is saying is, like, you need to protect your opportunities. This doesn't even have to just be love, Cancer. Like, if you have some sort of big goal, wish, or dream that is far away, I don't really feel like it's far away, but I feel like this card, and I can't even get these cards up, I feel like this card is just saying something is a little bit of a reach for you. You might have some people in your life who are trying to protect you. It's like, every single person, it's like, who, as someone who has several businesses, personally, it's like, who gives me the most business advice, right? In my life, people who don't have businesses. Like, do you think I listen to those people? Hell no. But it's always people that have never done anything that are like, oh, it's a risk to not take a business. It's a risk to start a business, not have health insurance and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, go back to your $18 an hour. No judgments here. That's plenty of money. But I'm just saying, like, I have a lot of freedom because of what I do. So, I'm not going to listen to them. So the whole point is, don't listen to people who have never done what you are about to do. And that's really what I'm getting here, Cancers. It's like you need to, exceed your own expectations and kind of break free from those, those boundaries or barriers that people put up. With the farther gate card, you have this convention card. Convention is the enemy of progress right now, especially with Pluto and Aquarius. Convention represents the way things have always been done. And, Pluto and Aquarius wants us to come up with like new ways, third place solutions, different ways of doing things in our life. And, that's what I would say here is that we have to come up with other ways of doing things. And we can't get stuck in the past in the sense that, if you've been doing the same thing every single day for 20 years, maybe it's time to change, right? Especially if you like want growth or if you want, to grow your business or something like that. And maybe things haven't been growing. This could just say change. I keep telling people as well, it's like you can follow my 80-20 rule, which isn't like the real 80-20 rule, but 80% of the time do what works in work, in business, in your love life, but 20% of the time change. 20% of the time, come up with something new that you've never done before, so that you can, like I said, so that you can exceed your own expectations, so that you can come up with new solutions or better ways of doing things. And that's that. That's what I got for you there, Cancer. So thank you, Cancer. I'm going to actually leave this over here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. We're going in order, just so everybody knows, and we are going to be moving on here to Leo. Just so everybody knows as well, I'm relaunching the Tarot Masterclass and also the community that goes along with it at a much lower price. So it's $27 a month for 12 months. If you want to sign up, there's a link somewhere. I don't know where it went, but if you want more information, there's a link down below or up above or something like that. Also, by the way, I'm picking 10 more winners for a 1-question reading with me. I'm going to give everybody until, I think I said tomorrow. So let's just say until, I'll pull the winners actually on Mondays, because I think that's a better day. So I'll give everybody till Monday. You can leave a comment on this video or the last live that I did, because there were a bunch of good entries on there, and I can't pick everybody, obviously, but I wanted to pick more people. So either comment on this video, comment on the last one, doesn't matter if you already commented on the last one. I'm going to be picking 10 more winners for a 1-question reading with me. But that's that. All right, Leo, I'll show you here. You have this medicine wheel card. You have the falling angel card. It says spiritual narcolepsy, and you have the Holy Mountain card. So clearly, I feel like some of you Leo people need to tap more into like the spiritual side of things, or maybe you need to tap into your spirituality, or something is requiring faith, actually, is the word that's popping into my head here. Especially if you're kind of like evolving, or if you're doing, if you're doing something new in your life, like evolving something, expanding something. If you're kind of going into, I have the word new territories popping into my head, but it could be anything. You have this Holy Mountain card. I really see this. I'm going to skip ahead here, Leo. I have to start here. You have this Holy Mountain card, and again, really, I feel like this should have been your first card. It's almost like I see you. There's like a person up here in the mountain. It's almost like I see you kind of doing that. It's like you have a bird's eye view of something. You're getting the bigger picture of something in your life. But for some of you, I kind of feel like literally you could be moving. It's almost like you're kind of looking at a new land in your life. For others, I kind of feel like you could be seeing, it's like you're seeing opportunity where you haven't seen opportunity before. But again, there's something here about like needing to have faith, or needing to believe that things can go in the right direction for you. There's something about faith here. It's like, I'm not so sure that your faith is being tested, but maybe, this is very specific, Leo, but it's like, if your faith has recently been tested, as in, like if something didn't go according to plan for you, or, if you, lost something, something like that. I have something here about like needing to believe that the universe has your back, and I feel that that could be very beneficial for you here with this energy. So, I would pay attention to that. You have this falling angel card. It says spiritual narcolepsy. Again, for some of you, I feel you need to kind of like reconnect with your spiritual side, and I feel like that'll be very beneficial for you. This could represent like meditation, or needing to meditate, especially with that Holy Mountain card, like tapping in that way. But I don't even think it has to be necessarily like that. This could be like needing to, maybe you need to just stop working. Maybe you need to have a little bit more fun. I think that's what it is. I feel this reading feels very clinical to me. It's funny that you have that medicine wheel card. It's like very stiff, rigid energies that I'm getting from your reading. So sometimes when that happens, I think we need to have more fun. We need to make sure that we are having fun in the first place, or we need to enjoy ourselves more. So again, if you've been like only working, maybe you need to go play. If your brain has been consumed by some sort of issue that you have in your life, maybe it's time to go play. I always tell a story. It's like for, I don't know, almost 4 years, I did nothing in my life after a big business failure I had. And it's like, I literally did nothing except, well, I learned during that time, but I pretty much only sat in my room. It's like I was punishing myself for, the failure and for being a failure, or what I thought was a failure at the time. And so I did nothing. I just sat around, and, that was pretty much it. And, to break out of that energy, the first thing I really did is I started walking. That's like the first thing that like changed my life. And like shortly thereafter, I started this channel, over 8 years ago today, or now, basically in May. And you know, that's really what like changed my life, really got me out of the funk that I was stuck in. So I feel that energy for some of you, where it's like you kind of need to get out of some sort of funk. It might not be that extreme as it was for me. It might be something small, but I feel that here. Again, I get something about like new land or new territory. I also get something here about like the next 2 years or 3 years, maybe here, Leo. So, you know, I know that's a long time away, but well, not really, but there could be like a move, or you could be ending up somewhere that, you know, you've been thinking about. I kind of feel like you've been thinking about it, or it's been at the back of your mind, you know, is what I would say here. So it's kind of like another one of those weird moments where, you know, I also feel like I have a weird story pop into my head that I haven't thought of in a long time. When I was a kid, I moved to this town, and I had a karate instructor at the time, and when I was a kid, his house was at the end of the driveway that I ended up moving into a house at the end of the driveway, where his house was here. My house was ended up at the end of the driveway. I know that's confusing, but when I went to his house the first time when I was a kid, the houses didn't exist. It was just woods, right? And then like years later, I ended up moving down the driveway from him, which was like one of those moments where it's like crazy. It's like I had been there before, and then I ended up there. I don't know. I have that popping into my head here with this card. It's like maybe you've like traveled somewhere before, or maybe you've been to a certain location and now it's like you're actually moving there, or you're going to be living there. And I don't know, that's very specific, but you know, there you go. Let's see what is going on here. I feel like your reading is very simple, Leo. I feel like you just have to have fun, enjoy yourself, go do something fun, something like that. With the medicine wheel, you have this harmony card. Yes, balance. I mean, this card is Libra. And so I feel like some of you need to kind of like balance things out with this energy, and you need to make sure that you are balancing things out as well. It's kind of interesting as well, because I see you looking at things from a I feel like you're looking at things from a very mature perspective all of a sudden as well. Even to the point, I don't know, I have weird stories popping into my head for you, Leo, where it's like, even to the point where, like, if you're in a relationship, for example, maybe normally you would, like, argue with your person, no problem, right? At the drop of a hat, they do something wrong, you're on them, right? But I feel like I'm not saying that you're not necessarily arguing with a person, but it's like you're looking at it in a different way. I feel like you could be saying, like, oh, I wonder where they're coming from. I don't know, I get this, like, very weird, curious energy here. You're being more balanced. It's probably just bringing more peace into your life, right? With the Falling Angel card, it says spiritual narcolepsy. You have this assertion card. I don't know. You always get these cards of like needing to assert yourself, or needing to kind of like be more of your Leo self, needing to be more bold, more assertive, needing to take the lead. All those things I think would be a great idea for you, Leo. I think it just lead to more like abundance, success, pretty much all that. So, don't be afraid to take the lead on projects or whatever it is that you're doing. I feel like you're meant to be a leader at this time, honestly. It's like, even for those of you, it's like kind of like what I'm getting here is, even if you're having like a hard time getting a job, for example, it's like you might be having a hard time getting a job because you're meant for like a leadership position. So I almost feel it's saying like you need to get something harder, or you should be trying to get something harder, is what's popping into my head. So, again, I would like try to get a management position or something like that. Or, it could be you like having your own business or whatever the case may be. Here you go with the Holy Mountain card. You have this Independence card. Basically everything I said. Look, there's like this giant statue that's standing over this land. It's like you're meant to. I really got that feeling that you're meant to lead, or you're meant to. Especially if you're having a hard time. And again, I'm not saying you have to have your own business. Like I said, you could be getting a management position or just a higher up position. Maybe you're going for small positions. You need to go for bigger. Something bigger here. That's kind of like the vibe that I get here, Leo. Pretty simple reading. Pretty straightforward. So. But also, like I said, if you're working your ass off, make sure you like have fun. Make sure you do something other than work here, because there's something about like dull energy. Like I said, with that medicine wheel card, it was like I was getting the word like clinical, but not in a good way. Like as in you're being boring, or you need to do something to entertain yourself, right? So there you go. Who are we on? Virgo. Let's see what we have going on for you here, Virgo people. Virgo, sorry, let me just get this. Virgo, you have this Knight of Wands showing up first. So I feel like you're itching. I feel like you're ready to take action. I feel like there's something that you want to charge after. You have the Two of Pentacles. It's like a choice. I feel like one of the choices is harder than the other as well. Look, you go Two of Pentacles to the lower world card right here. So for some of you, this could be a reinvention. I feel like I've said this to a lot of you Virgos that you could be kind of reinventing yourself, especially in career or work. Especially with this lower world card, I almost get the feeling that some of you might feel like you're taking a step backwards, but you're actually not. I feel like you're taking big steps forwards, but maybe you've had to kind of like go back to basics, I'm getting, or you've had to, it's like you've had to revisit something here with this lower world card. It's funny, I just told Leo the story about how, like, before I started this channel, I was doing nothing for 4.5 years. It's like I went from having a very successful business to having no subscribers on YouTube, like barely making anything. So, again, I kind of get that feeling here where I'm not saying you're going back to making no money. I'm just saying that I feel like some of you, it's like you're kind of revisiting some basic ideas that you've had in your life. For some of you, this could be like dating as well. It's like, obviously, if you're, getting back out into the dating world, you could have to be, it's like you're navigating the streets. You're navigating the swamp that is the dating, scene in 2023, right? So you're kind of having to figure out, like, what is a good person? What is a bad person? What type of person am I looking for? It's like, in this lower world, there's probably like a bunch of slugs and weird people and all sorts of stuff, right? So I feel like that's what you're trying to avoid. Again, with the Two of Pentacles here, I have the word settlement popping into my head. I will say that I have some cards in the tarot that I consider clue cards, and the Two of Pentacles to me is a clue for settlement. It's not accurate tarot, but again, sometimes I see the Two of Pentacles and I feel like there could almost be like some sort of settlement, like an insurance payout, legal settlement, something along those lines. So if you're waiting for money that you are receiving, then, I feel like this could be money coming in for you that you're just waiting to receive. But again, you would know that it's owed to you. Two of Pentacles is also kind of like spinning plates, and I do feel like you're spinning plates, but this is like one of those few times where I would say, you know what? I think it's perfectly okay for you to be spinning plates at this time. Like, if you have a bunch of ideas, I think this is great. The one thing that I would say is with this card here, I would be making sure that you're paying attention to like what works. I keep telling people that one of the best things you can do during Mercury retrograde is experiment. One of the best things you can do for the rest of your life, for the next 20 years at least, is experiment with Pluto and Aquarius. Like, try new things, try different things, and it could be like big things, small things. Maybe you go to the same store every single day like I do, right? Maybe you try a different store. Maybe you try something different. Maybe you walk in the same direction every single day like I do. Maybe you could walk in a new direction. You never know what you can find by, they say variety is the spice of life, right? And I kind of get that here, that I feel it's encouraging variety, moving in new directions in literally. And that's what I would do here. But let's see what is going on here. With the Knight of Wands, you have this protection card. I do feel like you're protected from player-like energies at this time. So again, if you want, I don't know, that popped into my head. Like, if you're dating and you want to date, then I would go for it with this energy. So, I would say that for a lot of you, I feel this could be you needing to like get out there, have fun. I feel like you're much more protected from like players, just in general. So, I would get going with this energy. I would also say that I kind of feel like you're protected from risk here, Virgo. I want to see what the next card is here. You have this criticism card. Some of you could be fearing criticism, like if you try something new in your life, and you could be fearing like what people say. I feel like that's always been in the back of your mind, is what I would say to you here. It's almost like maybe some of you have had an experience where people criticized you, or, something along those lines. I said this to you a couple weeks ago, I'm pretty sure. And, I kind of feel like some of you, it's like in the back of your mind, but it's like you're protected. So I feel like you need to know that you're protected, but that could be something that's been holding you back, is like the fear of criticism. With the Two of Pentacles, you have this choices card. I mean, literally the card of choices with the card that says choices on it. So you have a choice to make. I always say that the Two of Pentacles, to me, is always a card that says pick the new path. The new path is always more beneficial with the Two of Pentacles. I mean, I shouldn't say always, but, usually it is better. So, I feel like moving in new directions or picking the new path would be a good idea here. With the lower world card, you have the health. This is you, Virgo, by the way. This is your card. So, this is the sun in Virgo. I feel like you're showing up in a very strong position. Some of you could need to focus on your health, but again, I really get the feeling that you are probably very focused on your health, or you are pretty healthy at this time, which is great. So, that's what I would say there. Keep it going. We'll pull another one. You have this flirtation card. I mean, really, I do feel like this was kind of like a love reading. I know I say I don't do love readings, but I do whatever comes up readings. And what I would say here is I really got this feeling of like dating, or, putting yourself back out into the dating world. I feel like you'll be surprised. You might just meet like two people, and the second one is like the person that you're meant to be with. So, it seems like a lot easier than you're making it out to be. Obviously, that's only for those of you that are looking for love. If you're not looking for love, even if you are, I feel like you could be flirting with a new direction in your life with that lower world card, but maybe it feels like a step backwards, right? It's like I feel like you could be doing something that feels not like a downgrade, but maybe it just feels like it would be less than what you're doing right now, especially if you're like starting a side hustle. It's almost as if there's like some sort of sacrifice that you could have to be making as well here, Virgo, if you're like starting something new. It could be like a side hustle or a YouTube channel or something where it's like the sacrifice of time. I don't know, something is holding me back. Which, again, when I read, I like put myself in your shoes, and that's what I'm feeling here, Virgo. It's almost like you could be holding yourself back or something. It's like you're just flirting with it, and I feel like you need to make the full commitment. It's like you need to dive straight in and not no more hesitation. I feel like you need to like make the full commitment here. So there you go. Thank you, Virgo. All right, Libra, let's see what is going on for you here, Libra people. Libra, you have the Emperor, this Gatherer card, and you also have this Drifter card as well. The Drifter says, experiencing life as it comes. I feel like you've had a Aries coming up for you for like a few weeks. So, Libra, if you're looking for love, definitely could be an Aries coming in for you. It could also be that you are just taking the lead because you have that Drifter card, and you could be taking the lead in a new direction in your life. I also think it's interesting that you have the Emperor, and then you have this Gatherer card, which is kind of like the Empress. So some of you, I feel like you could be attracting like a divine counterpart. It could be a Leo, and what I would say here is it could be a Leo or an Aries, I should say. But I kind of feel like you're divine counterparts, but there's some sort of difference here. It's like she's kind of like the Empress. It's like you could be attracting an Emperor, but maybe you are kind of an Empress to this person, or vice versa. I don't know. There's some sort of difference. Is it a bad thing? Hell no. I think it's a good thing. I think maybe people just see you as an odd couple if you're attracting love, but who the hell cares, right? So I would just do it anyway. For others, if you're thinking about starting something like everybody else, then I would say there's clearly going to be a lot of abundance here coming in with whatever you're wanting to start, because this is a card of abundance, creating abundance, card of like the Empress, like I just said. So, you could be kind of like working on things that are increasing your finances, or kind of like bringing in more money for you with this energy. She has these pumpkins on her as well. I do feel like there could be like you could be building up something between now and like the fall. I'm not even getting October or anything. I'm just getting like the fall time. So if you're working on something new, you could be doing that here with this energy, and I feel like that would be kind of a good way for you to do it here with this card. You also have this Drifter. It says, experiencing life as it comes. I don't know what it is. It's like, I did half the readings for the weekend this morning, and there was like a lot of this energy this week, or, coming up, basically, where, I feel like people they just felt like stiff to me, the readings. They felt like a little bit, people like kind of projecting a little bit too much into the future, and trying to predict things that you can't be predicted. So needing to be more go with the flow, needing to be like to enjoy life more, needing to just see how things go in the first place. Because again, I feel like there are too many. It's like there's too much, too much of that fantasizing. I would say kind of like Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces, we can come up with these ideas, these fantasies that will never become a reality, or they could become a reality, but we have to make them become a reality. But the problem with Neptune and Pisces is we just want to fantasize. And the good news is that we have Saturn in Pisces now. So that is kind of like, I think that could be getting people to take action, or it could be having people looking for directions on things that they've just been fantasizing on. So, I kind of have that popping into my head here for you, Libra, that if you have any fantasies, or if you've been like daydreaming about like crazy ideas or whatever, you could be looking to kind of like manifest some things down on Earth. And I definitely see that for you. With the Emperor, you have the Decisions card. Decisions, right? Everybody has had some sort of card of choices to make in May. So it looks to me like there are a lot of choices or decisions to make in the month of May. And definitely for you, I would, of course, pick the new path. Really, again, Pluto in Aquarius is kind of like this card right here. It says experiencing life as it comes, but there's a boat on this card, and it could just represent doing things you've never done before. So Pluto in Aquarius is kind of like traveling to new lands. It's kind of if you think about our great ancestors, they would get on boats and they would go somewhere, or they'd get into the ocean. They wouldn't know if they were going to find land, right, at some point. So it's like that's like all of us right now. We're all like explorers looking for probably security or safety or money or whatever we're looking for, but we kind of have to do things that have never been done before. With the Gatherer, you have the Defense card. I'm getting a bunch of things here. Number one, I would be careful if you have a person in your life who like magically shows up every time you make money, or who magically shows up in your life when things start improving for you. So I would be careful of that. The other thing is that, again, if you are making money, I would definitely be resourceful with that Gatherer card. When you think about it, it says the Gatherer. She's gathering things and she's holding on to them. So it might be a good time to like save a little bit of extra money, or to make sure that you're kind of protecting your finances with this Defense card for sure. And then finally, with this Drifter card, you have this Enthusiasm card. That's like the only thing that we really need to guide us, I feel, at this time, is like enthusiasm, excitement. Everybody always gets like the King of Wands or the Queen of Wands nowadays. I'm always saying, those cards are cards of enthusiasm, excitement. They both kind of move towards their desires. Both, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Knight of Wands, right? And I get that energy here. This is Sagittarius, by the way, this card here, Libra. So definitely could be a fire sign coming in for you if you're looking for love. But also, this could just be saying move towards things that excite you. Move towards the things that kind of, get you out of bed in the morning, or that you could do all day long, no matter what. And that's what I have for you here, Libra. So thank you, Libra. Let's move on here to Scorpio. And Scorpio, you have this Fire card here, and you also have this card that says Netcaster. It says preparations come to fruition. And you also have this Knight of Pentacles as well. So I feel that you could be feeling very motivated right now to kind of like, create things, get started on things. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles says it's time to get your ass moving, because the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that is making no movements. Normally, well, in this case, it's a she, but normally he has empty fields behind him, and he just needs to start planting in those fields. And, it's kind of funny that this card here says, what does it say? Preparations come to fruition. It's like you've been preparing for something, but now that it's here, you could be hesitating. So it's like maybe you've been preparing yourself to, do something that you've wanted to do, and it's like there's no more preparing to do. I kind of feel like this is saying, it's time to get moving. It's like you're more than prepared, or you're over prepared, and I would just get moving with this Netcaster card. With the Knight of Pentacles, I would get moving. Like I said, you have the Fire card, which is like energy, needing to get moving. With the Knight of Pentacles, same thing. I also have something here. I'm actually going to pull you another card here, Scorpio, because this is pretty simple reading. It's very straightforward, but I do feel that some of you could be receiving communication from a person. The problem is I feel like they're slow. I feel like I've been saying this to you as well, Scorpio. It's like you're attracting someone who is either hurt, or maybe they've been through something similar to you. And I feel like because of that, this person could be a little bit slow. So, again, if you're attracted to them or whatever, I'd be like, why are you so slow? And maybe they will say because of X, Y, and Z. And then at least you know, right? So you have two cards here. Actually, you have the moon and you also have this covenant card. It says sacred contract. So for some of you, I kind of have now I have a million things popping into my head here, Scorpio. For some of you, I feel like you have something that you have to do, but you don't know what it is. It's almost like, kind of like knowing that you have a purpose, but not being sure what your purpose is or not being sure what to do. So, number one, I think our only purpose here on Earth is to create our own reality. So, whatever that means for you, whatever you want to create, could be anything. I think the problem with modern day society is everybody's like, oh, you have to have some sort of amazing career, and you have to like go become a lawyer, which like, have you ever been to a lawyer's office? Every time I've ever been to a lawyer's office, I start crying because it's like the most boring place on earth. Plus, they're lawyers. They're like, yuck, right? So it's like, who really wants to do that? And there are plenty of people who've commented that say, oh, I love being a lawyer and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, like maybe like 3 people on earth actually want to be a lawyer, right? But what I would say here is I feel like your purpose is to, rant about lawyers over. But I feel like your purpose is to like start work on something that you will actually enjoy. It's like if you could enjoy every day of your life, what would that look like? That's your purpose. And so I kind of feel like this covenant card is saying like you need to get working on that. That's what you are meant to do, is like work on something that actually gives you purpose with the sacred contract card. I also feel that this could be like a sacred contract between you and another person. The Knight of Pentacles, by the way, can represent like a contract. So if you have like a business or if you work with contracts, speaking of lawyers, this could literally be a contract that you are signing. Of course, Mercury retrograde, I would make sure to double, triple, quadruple check any contracts that you sign. I always say I have no problem signing contracts during Mercury retrograde. I've done it a million times. I've probably only had like 1 or 2 mistakes ever when I've done it. So, just double check everything. And if you're like me, if you fell on your head when you were 10 years old, then you have someone else who also checks them twice, right? And then you will be fine. But let's see what we get when we clarify. With the fire card, you have this manipulation card. This is actually a good card. It's a card of manipulating the energy, and it is Jupiter and Scorpio. So, for a lot of you, I feel like you could be attracting a lot of things into your life. I feel like you could be attracting a lot of abundance into your life. You could also be using a law of attraction. This is like as above, so below. He's got stars up here, stars on his head right here, which represents as above, so below. So, but I really feel it's more saying like your inner world is going to match your outer world. So, if things aren't going well, it's time to change your inner world, because that will probably attract something much better in for you, whatever you want. With that Netcaster card, how many people have had this card today? A bunch. You have this Rebellion card. And there are a bunch of cards in this deck, so it's not like, there aren't more cards to choose from. But, I feel for a lot of you that you could be kind of like rebelling against the status quo. And maybe you're also feeling a little bit of that kind of boring energy just in life in general, and you're looking to mix it up is really what I'm getting here. With that Knight of Pentacles, here you go. You have this restlessness card, exactly what I was saying. I knew I was getting like some restless energy here. It's like you're chomping at the bit, ready to make something happen. I would channel your restless energy. I always say like, whenever I'm feeling restless, I know I need to do something like creative or, I need to put that energy into something because it's destructive if you don't. So maybe you need to, like, it could literally be like doing a puzzle, could literally be, coloring in a coloring book, but, could also be something more significant, like starting a business or writing a book or whatever it is you want to do. I would like channel your restless energy into something. With the moon, you have the moon and the covenant card here. You have this charity card as well. If you are attracting a person, I literally feel you could be attracting a very kind of like giving, caring person. So definitely be on the lookout for that if you're looking for love. I also feel like some of you, if you are stuck, like giving back in some way, could kind of like get you unstuck. again, I've said it like 3 times today already, but when I was stuck in my life, I started this channel, and then I magically got unstuck, literally. So, and I improved so many other areas of my life when I started this channel. So, it's like one of those things. I was giving back. And I think that sometimes people think charity, like, oh, I have to give money or whatever, but maybe not. Maybe you just have to give time. It could just be saying something nice to a person in your life. That can be charity, right? Giving kind words to people in general. I think that would be very helpful. But there you go. Thank you, Scorpio. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody else, for being here. Really appreciate it. We are reading in order if you just got here, and we just finished up on Scorpio. We will be, also, just so everybody knows, I'm going to be giving away 10 one-question readings, and to enter, you just have to leave a comment on this video. I'm going to use a random comment picker to pick 10 people for one question. I will contact you and help you, contact me so that I can answer your question, but it will be for a free video reading. And on top of that, also, I'm relaunching the Tarot Masterclass today at like a lower price. So it's going to be $27 a month for 12 months. And if you sign up after 12 months, you own it outright completely, and it comes with a community as well. But again, this is your one chance to get it at that price. I am going to up it to $37 a month, and it's going to be just monthly, period. So now is your chance to lock that price in. You can pay full price for it as well if you want. But anyway, enough of that. Sagittarius, you have the Heart of the Sky, the Knight of Swords, and the Benefactor card that says grace and generosity on it. I feel that for some of you, that something is like, this is a card of manifestation as well, but it's also kind of like a card of dreaming. It's like a card of like thinking about your purpose or imagining the things that you want to create in your life. And I kind of feel that for a lot of you, that there's something very dreamy about this card. I'm going to clarify this one, but with this card right here, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, again, he isn't necessarily dreamy, but he kind of is, because he's kind of enthusiastic. He's starting a new journey. He's very adventurous, right? And again, he just kind of like moves towards his enthusiasm. He moves towards the the things that are exciting to him in his life. And that's exactly what I would do here with the Page of this Page of Wands, is I would move towards things that excite you, especially if you kind of like have a dream or if you're thinking about your purpose. Again, this card here kind of represents having a divine purpose, or maybe you're just like wondering, what is my divine purpose? You have the Knight of Swords. Well, actually, I'm going to show you here, because if you look, the Knight of Swords, even in a traditional tarot deck, the Knight of Swords would be going in this direction. So it's like you're thinking about your divine purpose, or you're thinking about something that would be fulfilling for you in life. And, it seems to me like a lot of people are chasing fulfillment at the moment, which, makes perfect sense as far as I'm concerned, just based off the astrology and all that other stuff. But I feel like you're looking towards something here. The Knight of Swords kind of says, don't rush into anything. It is a card of being too hasty. I would be careful of any like push button solutions as well with this card, because, the thing with the Knight of Swords is that he can kind of also represent like a person who comes in that's like, oh, I have this, magical easy button for you, but it's like never that easy. So if you have anyone like in work and business and love, whatever, who is promising like some sort of easy solution, I would be cautious. It doesn't say, I don't think it's saying ignore those opportunities. It's saying like look into those things and make sure. You have this Benefactor card. It says grace and generosity. I almost feel like you have been kind of like trying to deal with something for a long time. There are these 2 mice on the card here. What's popping to my head is like mice have a hard time, like it takes them a long time to chew through a wall. Mice in the tarot or even in like the Lenormand, for example, the mice can represent something that takes a long time to kind of like work through. And I feel like you've been like working through a lot of things in your life, Sagittarius, and maybe now you're finally at this place where you can kind of like enjoy life, or you can enjoy yourself. You can enjoy the things that you've been doing. And that's really what I get off of that card. Let's look into this deeper here, Sag. And let's see. With the Heart of the Sky and the Page of Wands, you have this criticism card. Everybody's had this card today as well. So I don't know what's going on. Part of me is like, oh, it's just Mercury retrograde. It could totally be bringing back a person who criticizes you. But really, I feel like it's more personal. It's almost like people could be worried about kind of, starting something and having people say something about it. You could be kind of like thinking about getting into a relationship, but maybe the person you want to get into a relationship with, you're like fearing that people are going to criticize a connection. So, I have all that popping into my head with this card. And I think it's something you need to think about. Like, why do you feel that way? I literally just have questions popping into my head. Like, why am I fearing that I'm going to be criticized if I do this new thing with my life? Or like, why do I worry what people will think? And so some of you, I think you need to think about it. Can we just get more detail on that as well? Yeah, you have this choices card. Everybody has also had this card as well. So there you go. So you clearly have a choice to make. I wouldn't make that, if you're making a choice that you're fearing will lead to criticism, I wouldn't make this choice too quickly with this Knight of Swords. Again, Knight of Swords is kind of like, don't rush any decisions that you're making. With the Knight of Swords, you have this protection card, so you are protected at this time. And, I kind of have, I was once watching this video by a lady, and she was talking about a near-death experience, and she was saying that the one thing that she learned on the other side was that you never have to justify a good decision. So I kind of feel that here, where if you're like justifying decisions, I actually feel you already know what decision to make or what choice to make, especially with that choices card and the Knight of Swords. And, I kind of feel there's an opportunity here for you to make the right choice in your life, whatever it is. I feel like you're protected even if you make the wrong choice. It's not like if you make the wrong choice, it's going to throw off your life. Maybe it just throws you off for a little period of time, and then you get right back on your path in the future. But, I kind of feel if you are trying to make a choice that you should look at it. And it's like maybe one choice you have a bunch of justifications for, but the other one, if you really think about it, is just a good decision, plain and simple. With that benefactor card, you have this secrets card showing up. This is kind of like a good card as well. It's not like a bad card. I feel like it's asking you to look into some secrets, and these aren't like secrets like, oh, someone has a secret. I feel this is saying like maybe you're making more money in work or in business, and it's like saying, how can you make more money? And you have to educate yourself. So this is a card of like self-education or, learning new things in life. And that's what I would do here. It kind of reminds me like in the Lenormand as well. There's a card called the Book. And the Book kind of represents hidden or secret information. It's not really that anything is hidden from us. It's just that we have to kind of like do the research to find to find the answers or to find like what we're looking for. And, that's what I get for you, Sag. So thank you, Sagittarius. Really appreciate it. We are going to move on to Capricorn now. So Capricorn, let's see what we have going on for you. You have this Dream Thief card. It says refusal of the call. You have the giveaway. Hey, I'm giving away 10 readings. So make sure to leave a comment on this video, Capricorn, to enter to win. But you also have this Crown Games. It says right use of power. I kind of feel like this is a past person here. Haven't you had a past person popping up, Capricorn? I would be careful of this person. If you have a past person who's like communicating with you, I feel like they are still a damn liar, Capricorn. That's what I'm getting. I feel like they lie. Just plain and simple. So, I would be careful of any liars, cheaters, stealers, especially if you've dealt with that in the past. This is going to sound weird as well, but I'm also getting off of this card that if you have a person who like does the same thing you do, or like a past person who like maybe works where you work, or maybe they have the same business that you have or something like that, I kind of feel like this is saying that, it's like maybe they really look up to you in some weird way, and it's like they're trying to be you. I kind of get this feeling of like a person who's trying to be you. It might not be a past lover as well, Capricorn. This could just be, like a person, like a competitor in business, or, someone you work with who's like jealous of you. It's like they're trying to steal the dream, but I feel like they just don't even matter. I feel that you could probably just squash this person like a bug, so I just wouldn't even entertain it. I feel like this is more of a distraction is what I'm getting than anything else. It's like, oh, like if you feed this little monkey here in your life, it's like they're going to drive you nuts. but I feel like you could easily starve this person out by just not giving them attention, plain and simple. You have this giveaway card. I literally feel like it's saying, like, don't just give away your energy to things that steal from you with that Dream Thief card. So I would be careful who you're paying attention to here. I feel like your light shines. Like I can't even see this card. It's not even focusing on this camera. Like, it's so bright up here that it's like washing out the camera. So I feel like this is saying that you shine bright, and people are going to try to steal your light at this time, Capricorn. I feel like you're accomplishing a lot as well, because you have this Crown Games card here, and this card says right use of power. It's like saying you could probably stomp this, thief in your life right out, but it's like saying, do you need to do that? I would say probably not. Didn't I say this to Aries? I think I said this to Aries, that it's like you could probably, rip someone's head off, but do you really need to? I would say no. I think it's better to be, to show that side of compassion, right? And that could be what this card is saying. It's like saying you could have some people in your life who are like energy vampires, or who are trying to, steal your work or whatever. But, I feel like, it's like people know. People can tell. People can tell who the thieves are. People can tell who the people who are not original are, right? And, I feel like people can tell with this card, and that it's like that's all you need to know, is you just have to like stand in your power here, Capricorn, and not worry about what other people are doing or saying. I feel like that you just need to keep kind of like bossing up here with this energy is what I'm getting. I wanted to say that as well, that I really feel that a lot of you are kind of like bossing up, finding a lot of success, or you're like working on new projects or something. Let's see. With the Dream Thief card, you have this, here you go, you have this versatility card. See, I feel like by the time this person is even getting close to understanding how you work, like if this is someone who's trying to copy your work or trying to copy you at business, I feel like you're already like 10 steps ahead of them with this energy. So, I feel like you just need to keep that in mind, that it doesn't even matter. You have more tools in your tool belt. You have more experience. And, I feel this is kind of like saying you're going to be perfectly fine. I'm going to clarify that as well. Yeah, look at this. You have this domination card. I feel like you're dominating, Capricorn. I feel like you are, kind of like 10 steps ahead of the competition, especially in work or business. So, wouldn't even worry about it. With that giveaway card, you have this optimism card. That is a very bright card, like I said. So I feel like, and she's like holding the sun. I can't even show you because I don't even think you can see it on this camera. It's like washing it out, but she's holding the sun in her hands. So, I feel for a lot of you, you are kind of like holding on to something that should make you very happy. You could be accomplishing a lot as well with this energy. So if you're like working towards things, I feel the giveaway card is saying you're kind of like having a lot of accomplishments at this time. With that Crown Games card, you have this detachment card. I mean, literally, I think that is your solution here, Capricorn, is to just detach from outcomes, to detach from, like needing to be right in situations as well. It is weird that I kind of feel like there could be some sort of test coming up here, like right here with these two cards. I don't think it's like a test. I just think that, it's like you never know who's watching you, Capricorn. I don't mean that in a creepy way. I mean that in like, you never know where you could say something to someone at work, and, maybe it's the wrong person, right? And I kind of feel like there are just going to be a lot of those moments where it's like you are vibing high right now. So don't get sucked into like gossip or, any of that other stuff. I also feel like there's no reason to like defend yourself. Like maybe you feel like you have to tell your boss like so-and-so is stealing my work. I think your boss already knows is what this is saying. And it's saying if you just focus on continuing to do a good job, I feel like everything is going to be taken care of. Same thing in like work or business as well. It's like I think that, there could be a lot of opportunity here where it's like maybe you feel like people are stealing your work or whatever. But maybe actually, number one, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just taking inspiration from it. But number two, I actually kind of see it here as something that is going to be bringing you a lot more attention, Capricorn. So, there you go. And on top of that, I would be careful of any person from the past who's like trying to be like you, Capricorn. But there you go. All right, Aquarius, let's see what is going on for you here. Aquarius, right here, you have the star card. So you're showing up as yourself in a position of power and strength. You have this Feast of Plenty card. It says choices and their consequences. You also have this card that says the Sorcerer on it. So I feel like you are in a time of creation. you have that Sorcerer card. You also have the Star. The Star card, she is normally pouring water from the pool of universal consciousness onto the land, on a traditional star card. And that imagery, it represents the fact that what's possible for one person is possible for you. So it kind of represents tapping into, the idea that what's possible for one, if someone has done something that you want to do, it is possible for you. And that's all you need to know. So I kind of feel like this is saying you need to get moving just like everybody else. People need to get moving at this time, right? The other thing I would say is that this can represent kind of being an inspiration. And as I always say to you, Aquarius, the best thing you could possibly do during Pluto and Aquarius is to be an inspiration for other people. That could mean like, doing something that no one in your family has ever done. That could represent, doing something that inspires one person. It could also be doing something that inspires millions of people. It doesn't matter, but I would just do it. I would also say that the star can represent having a North Star, just like one thing that you are working towards that makes you successful. You have this Feast of Plenty. It says choices and their consequences. I mean, I'm cheating a little bit, Aquarius, because I would just say that based off your astrology since I don't know, since like the beginning of summer, since really, if you want to get technical, your astrology since the last eclipse cycle, not this one, but last year, really I feel has had a lot to do with like choices and consequences, certain choices that you've made. Maybe you feel like some of the choices you've made, think back like 8 months, like all my readings for you for the past 8 months have been like, oh, you have to make this choice or that choice, right, Aquarius? And it's like, I feel you've just been learning like about the good choices, the bad choices. And again, this is not a judgment statement. This is just, we all have to learn from our decisions. And I feel like you finally have realized some, I feel like you've had a lot of realizations, honestly, about the choices that you make. And, it's like, I have so many weird things popping into my head for you. It's like good things and challenging things as well. It's like, I feel like some of you are like, oh, I made this decision because it's a choice that my parents would have made. Like you could be seeing how certain decisions, certain choices are actually kind of like decisions that your parents would have made and or that other people have made for you. Maybe you have friends in your life and it's like you're looking and saying, these are choices that I didn't get to make. My friends made these choices for me. And it's definitely something that I think you're kind of like thinking about here, Aquarius. And I just get this feeling of like wanting to be more independent, wanting to make your own choices, wanting to live your own life. And it's like you're, I think that the past like 8 months or so, basically, it had to happen like that so that you could be independent. You also have this Sorceress card. I kind of like this because I feel like you're taking more control, and I feel like this is saying that you are taking control on what you are kind of like creating in your life. And I also feel like you're feeling more in control because you're making your own decisions. It's like whenever you make your own decisions, then you can be more successful, and it's like you have more control over your own reality. So it's like I feel like this is kind of giving you, this is like putting you in a position of power and strength is what I'm getting here. It's like you're a very powerful manifester with all of this going on here. But I definitely feel like the past 8 months has or maybe even longer, right? It could be much longer for some of you. It definitely hasn't been easy. So Aquarius, let's see here. With the Stars card, you have this Protection card. Everybody, so many people have had this card today as well. So I feel like, you are protected, obviously. You are protected from difficulties, challenges, the things that you've gone through. I really do feel it's a good time to mess up. I mean, honestly, I always joke and I always say that people should make mistakes during Mercury retrograde, but I truly believe that. So I feel that for a lot of you, this could represent a time of, kind of experimenting, making mistakes. It's like you're protected from risk. With the Feast of Plenty card, you have this Innovation card. I mean, yes, duh. I mean, this is going to be the name of the game for you here, Aquarius. I feel that, pretty much everything you want is going to come in through innovation. This is literally Jupiter and Aquarius, this card. But with Pluto and Aquarius, anything new, any of your new crazy, Aquarius ideas could make you successful. But again, it doesn't even have to be work. You could just have the idea to go live in the Arctic or something like that. I don't know. It could just have to do with like personal fulfillment. And, I think that you could be finding a lot of fulfillment through like doing more of the things that you actually want to do. You cannot make this up. look at this card that just popped out as I was saying fulfillment. Like, there you go, Aquarius. I think the universe wants you to kind of like do things that make you happy, not your friends, not your family, not other people in your life. Like I already said, there you go. With the Sorcerer card, you have this status card. If you want love, I feel like you could be attracting a person where like the two of you, I'm not saying, it could be a power couple, but it really could just be like the two of you could be gaining status, or, it could be kind of like a status couple, whatever you want to call it. For others, whatever you're creating here, clearly with that Sorcerer's card, right here, this is something that could be gaining you, could be bringing you status, or could help you gain more status in your life. So there you go, Aquarius. Thank you, Aquarius. All right, Pisces. Let's see what we have for you here, Pisces people. Pisces, you have this Temptation card. You have the Deep Diver card. It says diving into a task, and you also have this Winter's Dream. It says gestation period. So number one, I would be careful of all temptations. You're a Pisces. So, I would say just like no temptation. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to be tempted. This could be like being tempted by pizza, like me, or it could be being tempted by something else in your life. And, I would be careful of like any temptations that could be coming your way with this energy. So, definitely something I'd think about. Next, you have this Deep Diver. It says diving into a task. I feel like you are very task-oriented right now, Pisces. Saturn in your sign. It's going to be, a lot of hard work, but, I feel for a lot of you that you could be creating a lot of like new successful opportunities, or you could just be working on whatever you've been working on all along, but it's like you're diving deeper. I feel like you're not just scratching the surface, and that is going to be a good thing for you. It's like if you have a business, but you're really kind of getting into the details, it's going to lead to success, but it could be other things as well. It's like Saturn in your first house could have to do with your health. It's like your first house isn't necessarily health, but it is how you present yourself to the world. So it could be your health. You could be getting healthier. You could be choosing to get healthier. You could be choosing to change your personality in some way. And people are always like, how dare you say people should change their personality? And it's like, well, I don't know if you're like, basically like if your personality is like talking to a rock, you're going to have a hard time getting together with people. You're going to have a hard time making friends. You're going to have a hard time finding love. So yeah, it's perfectly acceptable to change your personality. It's perfectly acceptable, and not calling you out here, no judgment here, but if you have no personality, I will be maybe the first person to tell you it's perfectly acceptable to get a personality. Maybe that's what you need to do. And again, like I said, you're not going to get any judgments from me. I like I always say, I sat in my room for 4 years and I did nothing. Super socially awkward, like totally weird. So, it's like I said, if that's what you need to do, do it, right? Who cares? But I wouldn't just scratch the surface on anything. If you're starting a project or business, I would like dive into the deep end, as I always say to you. I feel like you need to, don't just learn the surface level stuff. It's like, I don't really have any good examples, but it's like, if you're starting a YouTube channel, it's like there's a big difference between just start putting it, throwing up any old video and actually figuring out what makes a video special. And the reason I use YouTube as an example is because YouTube is life for me, right? That's it. And so I feel like this is saying, learn the ins and outs of whatever you're doing. It will be successful. You have this gestation period card, so clearly something is like a baby inside of you. Maybe literally a baby, but it could also just be an idea, something that is growing. For some of you, I do feel like you could be working on something behind the scenes that is going to take time to kind of develop, and I would definitely do that. I feel like now is an amazing time. Again, Saturn in your first house, pretty much anything that is like a long-term goal is going to be very successful for you, Pisces. So, it could be doing anything. It could be writing a book. And guess what, Pisces? I'm a Pisces and I'm writing a book. And it's taking me way longer already than I wanted to, but I'm still kind of like plugging away every single day. And I think that's what's important, Pisces, is that it doesn't really matter how much you do on whatever it is that you're working on. I think what matters is, just the fact that you work on something every single day. Like, even if you're just making those little 1% improvements, I feel like that's more than enough here, Pisces. So that's that. Pisces, we're going to clarify this. Let's see. With the Temptation card, you have this Charity card. I would be careful of having someone settle on you. Or maybe that's how you see it. I don't know. Like, if you have a past person coming back from the past, you could feel like they're just settling, or you could just feel like something from their past didn't work out, and that's why they're coming back. Again, Mercury retrograde. So, I would be careful of that. I do feel here that the universe is kind of like protecting you. You see these like angels up here though, Pisces. So I do feel you are protected. With the this deep diver diving into a task card, you have this romance card. Here you go. So Pisces, you can't be awkward if you're gonna get into a new relationship. This card always reminds me of like the Two of Cups. You see that these two people look very different. They also look like the Two of Cups. They look like those two people on the Two of Cups. And the whole point of the Two of Cups is that those two people are meant to look different. They are meant to look like two very different people that come from two totally different worlds. I've been saying since like 2020 maybe. I think I can't remember when the last time I did actual love readings was, but it might have been like 2021 or something. But in those readings, I remember saying that everybody had the Two of Cups. And I remember saying that pretty much anyone, like if you're wanting love, it's probably someone who's very different than your usual type. And, I think that's true. So you could be attracting someone who's different than your usual type into your life. Also, if you don't want love, I feel like you could be just being seduced by something like an idea or something that you want to work on right here. So I would work on it. It's probably going to take time, but I feel like it's going to be worth it. Are you kidding? Pisces. There you go. Someone's pregnant. So I don't know. Congratulations, right? I'm definitely not pregnant, but if you're pregnant, there you go. If you're not trying to get pregnant, I would definitely be careful with the birth card. I literally said birth on that gestation card. So, you know what I'm saying, Pisces? And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your mom when you get older. But what I would say, if it's not a baby, it could be just something that you're working on. Can we get more details on that? Like, what is this? Something that you are not deciding. Typical Pisces, you have this indecision card. And so I feel like you need to make up your mind, like on something to like work on, like I said, or something that you want to create. So, Pisces, it's time to make a decision. I feel like you're being guided. For some of you, I feel like you think things are worse than they actually are as well. It's like, you see how she's like boohooing over here. It's like you got your guides or your angel over here, like showing you what to do, or kind of like being like, okay, like I almost feel like there is guidance coming in. That's like, Pisces, like, come over here. So some of you might be, pay attention to the sign symbols, your intuition, and things like that. But that's that. Thank you, Pisces. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Again, if I am running another contest for 10 readings. I am going to put out a video tomorrow announcing the other winners from the other day. And so keep an eye out for that. On Monday, I'm going to pick the 10 winners. All you have to do is leave a comment on this video. It could be any comment, or you can leave a comment on the other live that I did the other day. I'm going to pick 5 from each video, basically, and I'm going to use a random comment picker to do that. So I'm going to put that video out sometime on Monday, and you will win a 1-question reading if you do that. Also, like I said at the beginning, I relaunched my Tarot Masterclass for $27 a month. So that will be for 12 months. I split it up, make it easier. Plus, there's an awesome new community that I'm building. Well, it's not new, but I'm updating it. I'm adding a bunch of monthly trainings to that and a bunch of other stuff. So there's going to be a link. I think it's pinned up below or above. I can't see from here. So it's pinned somewhere on this page. And if you're watching this not live, it'll be down below. But you can learn more information about that down there. And I'm going to leave that up until May 12th. So 2 weeks you have to sign up for that. And after this 2 weeks, like I said, it's going to $37 a month period forever. So, make sure to get in now if you're interested. But thank you, everybody. And, definitely enjoy your day. I didn't even say hello to most of you. So Victoria, hello. Carrie, hello. Thank you for being here. Aries, hello. Kimmy, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. Like I said, I couldn't see this thing. And thank you for the super chats. I didn't even see the super chats. Shane says, get a drink. Yes. I will chug some water live. Why not? Let's see. And Sandy Rose, hello. Oh my God. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Chanty, hello. Angel, hello. Thank you for being here. But that's that. I have to go eat lunch. So thank you. And definitely enjoy the rest of your afternoon.